Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel for the latest edition of Preparedness Tips. This one's a pretty cool one, at least I think it is. So, generally speaking, a challenge of preparing for a situation where we have limited or no power is obviously lighting, because when we're inside our house, we still need to be able to see what we're doing, especially if you live in a northern climate in the winter where it gets dark at 4:30, if not if not it gets dark about 4:15 here at peak winter. So, we spend a good 5 hours of the end of our day in what would be darkness in a situation where the power grid was not on, or we were running limited power with a generator or solar or whatever. So something that helps alleviate that situation inside your home, especially. Now, this is not the example I'm looking for. It's like the example I'm looking for because my other examples are in the shop somewhere. Can't find them. So we got two things to show you. Okay. Now, this example is just about the concept, not these exact ones. So these are like paver lights, but they're solar garden lights for putting along like a walkway. So the ones I'm really talking about, and I'll throw up like a JPEG of ones I find online, are like the ones that you hang on a fence post or something that shines down to the ground to illuminate a walkway or something. So they have the little solar panels, maybe 3-4 inches long on the top, and some of those can put out a pretty substantial amount of light. So what you do is you buy those, and they're very inexpensive. Probably don't want to go with the cheapest ones because they probably don't have that many battery cycles in them. But if you get a quality, reputable manufacturer of those, you can take those lights, generally come in a 6 or 10 pack, something like that. You put them out in the morning wherever you get good sun exposure, and then when the sun goes down, you pull those in, and you've got however many, 4, 8, 12 lights that you can put around your workstations, or if you want to read, or if you have kids that need to do activities at night, and you just put it on a kitchen table or a nightstand or wherever your family communal space is. Put one in the bathroom, so you can essentially light up all the necessities, or, excuse me, all the necessary areas in your home without having to run any power, just using the power of the sun, and it helps eliminate one of these. Now, I won't say it eliminates it because I still think there's a use for oil lamps, but let's be real, especially depending on your living situation, it might be really hard for you to store up enough oil. If you're storing up lantern oil, kerosene, or whatever, and you live in a very suburban type area, or maybe it's just cost prohibitive to do that, and then you got to buy the mantles and probably 3 or 4 of those lanterns to really get the key points of your house lit up at night. Not to mention, I have kids, so if you have kids, it's a fire hazard. They knock over the lantern, and all of a sudden you're in a power outage situation, and you lit your house on fire. So I still think there's definitely a place for those, but with modern technology, LED lights, and these little solar panels, it really makes it a lot more probably just practical to get a couple $100 worth of these solar lights that you can basically use every single night all year round, and they do last a very long time. I mean, generally I put these out 3 years later, they still work, and obviously they've just been sitting out on a fence post, so they've been cycling nonstop. Another thing to add to this is, so this is again not the exact example. The exact examples are hung up outside on the property. So Costco carries this light, but with a solar panel. So it's the exact same manufacturer, if you want to see that. Okay, and I've used these before. My old property, I had this light with the solar panel, probably 3.5 years before we moved, and it didn't show any signs of degradation. That's just been my personal experience. I don't know if the solar one has 3,000 or 2,000 lumens. I can't remember, but if you've got areas that you need to be able to see at night, if somebody's coming through like a driveway, or if you have other choke points or higher probability that people will approach your property, and you put these up, and then obviously instantaneously that's going to draw your attention in an area, in a time when there's no electricity, and you can spot whatever that might be that needs your attention in the middle of the night. Also eliminates you having to run electrical all over your property. So You know, if you set up 3 or 4 of those on fence posts or gate or wherever down by your shop, your garage, you know, you can really have a decent perimeter defense as long as somebody is there alert and able to see these lights go off. And $60 for the solar one is what they were last time I checked. With prices going up, maybe they're a little bit more now. I'm not quite sure. So, you know, again, Home Zone is the brand, and I recommend getting a handful of those. It's pretty affordable, even if you just get 1 or 2 of them. It at least gives you an option for a really high output light that you don't have to have hooked up to the grid or hooked up to a generator or anything like that. You know, the more we can use solar to our advantage, the better. Solar is a terrible centralized power source. It's an excellent decentralized power source. So, um, the only thing I will say, obviously, with those smaller fence or garden lights that you can use and bring in, just, you know, check the reviews and look up what kind of battery it has, because that's really what's going to make or break those lights is how many cycles those batteries or whatever material their batteries are made out of, to make sure that, you know, it's just not going to fail on you after 40 days of of using it, which I've certainly seen. So make sure you do your research on it. But if you can put lights out in the driveway in the middle of the day, you go out, bring them in, and now you have all the light you need until morning. It's just a really simple, easy solution. So I hope this helps you guys out, and it kind of puts this on the forefront of your mind if you haven't come up with a lighting solution for your home. And I will catch you next time. Bye.